guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I finally have my finale for my 2017 makeup use up. I am so excited to share this with you guys today. So if you guys have not been following this series, I will put the intro linked up on top here for you in case you want to check it out. But essentially what this is a year-long project where you pick however many products you want to finish up throughout the year. This year I picked 25 products. I have done this project now I think for 3 years in a row, 3 or 4 years now I've been doing this project, and 25 products is still a lot, but it is probably the smallest amount of products I've picked. I started out with a ton and then I've been slowly like, okay, maybe not so much next year. So yeah, this year I had 25 products in this project, which is quite a lot of products. And sorry guys, I always forget to shut off the light that's right above me before I start filming because it does give a weird shadow on my face, but I just forget that it's on. But anyway, as I was saying, there were a lot of lip products in the project this year. I've definitely struggled with the lip products the most, just because I feel like I had too many and it just was impossible for me to go through all of them. But I do want to give you guys my final update on this project because I am just like ready to be done with this project, to be honest with you guys. It's been going for almost a full year now. I am ending it just a little bit early, a few days early, just because I would like to move on. I do still have a couple other project pans going right now. I have my 12 pans of Christmas, which I'm going to be ending next week as well, and then I have a skincare project that goes through like the middle of January. So I do still have other products I'm working on, and I am going to do a makeup use up for 2018. This time I'm going to go with 18 products for 2018 because I think a lot of other YouTubers are doing that, and I like the idea of a few less products because it might be a little easier to get through. So let's go ahead and jump into the progress, and I'll show you guys what I was able to finish. I did not get through everything, but unfortunately a lot of products went bad before the project ended. So we're gonna go into all that, but first I'll just give you a quick recap in case you missed it. What I had finished up before my last update. So I did give you guys an update, I wanna say the end of September, and I'm gonna really quick recap in case you missed it, what was done at that point. So the first thing that I had finished up, this was actually pretty early on in the project. This is from Becca. This is the Becca Radiant Skin Satin Finish Foundation. I did enjoy this foundation. Let me rephrase. I did enjoy it at first, but the more I started using it, the less I liked it. So it is a discontinued foundation. I got it on hautelook quite a while ago, so it was definitely something I needed to use up, and I'm glad that I did finish it off. So yeah, that was early on in the project. Also early on in the project, I had finished off this primer from Dr. Brandt. It was just a travel size of the Pores No More. I do also already have a full size of this in my collection. I like this primer a lot. It's a great primer. I really just wanted to get through this baby size since I had a full size already, and so I was really glad to be done with that. Another product I had finished off pretty early on, this is from the brand Cella. This was an eyebrow pencil. I did not like this pencil. I felt like it was way too creamy, and for that reason it did not last all day on the eyes, and it would end up getting a little like patchy, but I don't know. It wasn't my favorite, but I was glad to get through that. And then this product actually went bad really early on in the project. It just went rancid on me. One of the things that I used as a criteria to pick some of the lip products or liquid products in particular, were if they were kind of old, because I knew I would need to use them up before the end of the year or they were gonna go bad. But this one actually went bad pretty early on in the project, so I wasn't able to really use too much of this. And this is from the brand Beauty For Real. It was just a lip gloss. Another product that I was able to finish off already, this was the MAC Strobe Cream. Again, it was just a little like sample size, but it did take me a long time to get through this, even though it is really tiny. I got a lot of uses out of this, but I was able to finish that off as well. Another thing that I was able to finish by my last update, that was the Revlon Lip Butter. This is in the shade Cotton Candy. This was actually one that I had rolled over from my project from 2016, so I was working for a long time to get through this lipstick, and that is rolled up all the way. I did actually use this one up all the way, so I was really happy to finish that off. It's very, very difficult for me to go through a full-size lipstick. I know a lot of project panners find it easy because it's something you can reapply throughout the day, but I'm just not very good at reapplying lipstick consistently. And a lot of times I'll reapply with something different than what I had on originally, so it really took a lot of focus to get through this, but I was really excited that I was able to get that one done. The next product that I had already completed since my last update, or before my last update. That was from Tarina Tarantino. This is the under eye brightener. I did like this product, but it's not one that I would repurchase. This was my second one. I did go through a full size and repurchased, but the more I used it, the more I was like, you know, it's just not giving me the brightness I need under my eyes. So it's not one that I would repurchase, but I was glad to have used it up. All right, another product I was I felt really good about being able to finish off, and that was from Wet n Wild. This is the Creme Brulee eyeshadow. It's just a single eyeshadow. I used this every day to set my eye primer. That's how I was able to get through this pretty quickly. I think it took me about half the year to get through this one, but it wasn't hard at all. I was very impressed with myself because that's probably the first time I've gone through an entire pan of eyeshadow. So it was an easy to use color because it was basically just a lid shade, like an all over lid shade, but I was really happy I was able to use it up. All right, another product I already told you guys I finished off, and that was from Laura Mercier. This again is a sample size, a deluxe sample size, and this is of her, what did she call this? Matte Radiant Baked Bronzer in the shade Bronze 03. So yeah, I was able to completely finish that off, and it was a really good bronzer. I did like it a lot. It was leaned a little bit on the warm side, but I really liked it, and I definitely did not have a hard time getting through that guy. All right, and then the last product that I had already told you guys before this update was completed, and that was from Revlon. This is the Cream Blush in the shade Berry Flirtatious. Again, you can see there's a lot of product left in here, but once again, I was trying to use up some older products before they went bad, and this one I just didn't get to in time. I did get to the point where I hit pan on it, but I went to open this a few months ago to use it, and it had stuff growing on it, so I was like, okay, that's it, I'm done. So I wiped away the growth because it grossed me out, but I haven't used it since then, and I'm just calling that one completed because it does need to go in the trash now. All right, so those were all the products that I had previously already told you I completed. Now I do have a few other products that are done now, so I'll share those with you next before we get into what I wasn't able to get through. So the first thing that I was able to actually finish, and that's from Smashbox. This is the Halo Powder in the shade Light. This is, I'll show you guys. It has that little sifter on it, but I didn't end up needing to remove the sifter because you can see it completely hit pan on the bottom. I really disliked this powder. I did not like it at all. I felt like it looked really, really patchy on my skin. And even though I had the shade Light, it was really dark on my skin. And I will usually use a shade Light in a powder. I'm not normally a fair, but in this powder, I would definitely recommend, if you have my similar complexion to me, that you go with the fair because the Light was really dark. So I think that might be why it looks so patchy on me, but what I ended up using this for at the end was as a bronzer because it was just like too dark to use as a face powder, and I got through it pretty quickly that way. But I'm really glad I was able to finish this off so I could just get it out of my collection because it's really not my favorite. All right, the next product that I was able to use up is from Stila. This is one of the Stay All Day liquid lipsticks in the shade Baki, and again, it is just a deluxe sample size. It actually came in as like a holiday set with some other little mini sizes, but I got to the point where I was scraping and scraping, and it was getting really difficult to get anything out, and it was going on really dry and patchy because it was just basically gone. So I'm really happy I was able to get through this. It might be a little difficult to see, but I'll give you guys a close-up so you can see all those scrapes in the side. So yeah, I was able to finish this off. And then the last product that I actually completed was from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Trio palette. So I originally, when I pulled this palette into this project, I told you guys I just wanted to get this middle shade gone, and that was it. But I was actually able to use up both of these shades completely. They're both completely gone, and I actually did get a very big dip in this shade here too. This is more of like a bronzer shade on me, but it's also got a big dip. I'm definitely wanting to finish this off completely so I can get it out of my collection altogether, but I actually really enjoyed it. The more I used it, the more I liked it. A lot of you were suggesting that I use it as like a finishing powder to like blend out my contour and bronzer, and I loved using it for that. That's how I went through it so fast once I started using this shade on this side as like a finishing powder to just like soften everything up. It went really quickly that way, so I really enjoyed this palette, but like I said, I still do want to use up this powder because I don't want to keep this whole entire palette for like basically half of a powder left in here. So I'm probably going to roll this over to my project for next year just to finish it off completely, but I'm still going to go ahead and call this complete because I did actually hit my goal for this palette for the year. Oh, and then there was actually one other product that I almost finished, but I accidentally lost it before it was gone. So that was from Hourglass. It was a little tiny baby lip gloss. It was like this big. It was so tiny, and I was carrying it around in my purse, and I was using it like crazy. I probably only had maybe 1 or 2 applications left in it, and it totally went missing. It must have fallen out of my purse somewhere when I was out, like maybe at a grocery store, at work or something, and because it was so tiny, I just didn't notice it because I've searched everywhere and I cannot find it. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it done because obviously I don't own it anymore, but I pretty much had finished it off anyway. Alright, so let's get into the last few products that I didn't quite get through. I want to start actually with this ColourPop eyeshadow. This is in the shade Winnie. It's just a single eyeshadow. I did hit pan on it, but I did not get it all the way done. So I'll show you guys what it looks like now. When I started this project, this was basically brand new, so it was completely full, so I feel like I made good progress on it. I didn't get my goal, which was to use it up completely, but I'm happy that I was able to at least hit pan, and I wore down those sides pretty good as well. So I feel good about my progress on it. A lot of times with these projects, it's not only about completing products. It's fun to completely use up a product, but it's also just fun to see how much you can get through on something. So I feel really good about that. I'm happy that I was able to use that much of it. Now the next product, this is one that I kind of stopped using because I had some issues with. This is from Stila. This is the Stay All Day Concealer in Bare 01. So the formula of this was not my favorite to begin with, but I was kind of trying to make myself use it up. But then it broke and it just became really difficult because this lid will not stay on and it falls off and it just becomes a huge mess and it's really messy and gross. So I am going to throw it away now. But I was able to hit pan, and like I said on the other one, I used up a lot. I feel good about the usage I got out of this. So yeah, I feel okay about just throwing it away now because it's not something I can save anymore. So I got through, I would say, at least half of this product, so I feel good about that one. Next up, another product that actually went bad on me. This is one I had to stop using. I was using this like crazy and I was determined to get this done before this update. And then I did that how old is my makeup tag, and I looked up the batch code on this and realized how old this was, and I was like, okay, I'm not using that anymore. I knew it was old. I had it in my collection for about 3 years, which is already probably too much for a liquid product. But then I found out that it was actually manufactured about 4 years before I even brought it home. So it's a 7-year-old product. I just don't feel good about putting that on my lips. So, and it does smell like it's changed a little bit too. So I'm just, yeah, I'm done with that. I'm gonna call it done. I used about half of it and I've had it way too long, so that guy is going in the trash as well. All right, the next product that I feel like I've made good progress, but I still didn't quite get done with, that's from Too Faced. This is the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, again in a like deluxe sample size. I really was trying to at least hit pan on this, but I did have that other bronzer in this project, so it was really difficult to get through two full bronzers this year. Even though they were both deluxe size samples, it was just a lot to try to get through. So there is a pretty good dip in this. I'm gonna hold it up so you can see that. There's a pretty good dip in the center, but I didn't quite get to hitting pan on it. All right, so I don't know how well you're gonna see it, but there is, right in the center there is a pretty good size dip. I've been using this a lot as an eyeshadow. I've been using it as a bronzer. I've been using it in as many ways as I can creatively come up with, but it just was not enough time to get through this one and the Laura Mercier bronzer this year. So, but I am really glad I pulled it into this project because I remembered how much I love this bronzer. So, so yeah, it was fun using it. It is what I have on today. I do think it's a great bronzer, and I just didn't quite hit my goal on that one. All right, next up I have an eye primer from Mica Beauty. So at the beginning of the year, I was really enjoying this primer a lot, and I used it like every single day religiously for at least the first half of the year. And then I started using it less and less because it was starting to get dried out, and even though I don't think it went bad, it's just not applying the same way. So I'll show you how much I used up. I feel like I used about half of this, but there honestly was so much in this container. I feel like I don't know if I could have ever gotten through that even with daily use. It was just too much product for how much you need for your eyelid. You just don't need that much, and it wasn't going fast enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out now because I don't like the texture of it anymore. I don't feel like it applies very nicely or works very well anymore. It's too thick and too dry. So that one I'm just gonna go ahead and call done and throw that in the trash as well. All right, the next product is another one that unfortunately went bad. I have a lot of those now to talk about. So that is the Lava Gloss Eye Pencil from Too Faced. This again just got really, really dry and it started going on very, very patchy. And this is something I've had in my collection for a long time, you guys, probably 5, maybe 6 years. So it is just time for me to go ahead and throw this away. I don't like the formula as much as a lot of my other black eyeliners, so I'm just done with it, and that's gonna go in the trash as well. Next up, I have a lipstick that again went bad. There's 5 products left, you guys, and all of them went bad. None of them are good anymore, and I'm just gonna be throwing them away, but I'll show you how much I was able to get through before I just was like, no, it's done. This NYX matte lipstick, I used this a lot. It's a really pretty color. I really like it. It's in the shade Whipped Caviar, by the way. It's just that like mauve-y pink color. I'll show you how much I got it down. So I feel good that I got my money's worth out of this little guy. I've had it for way too long now, and it's just time for it to go in the trash. I noticed a smell difference with it and a texture difference with it, so I stopped using that one. Same thing with this lipstick from Victoria's Secret. I've had it probably about the same amount of time. I was using it a lot near the beginning of the year, and then I slowly stopped using it just because I felt like it wasn't applying the same. It doesn't quite smell the same. This is where it is at currently. So again, about the same amount. I feel like I used about half of this bullet before I decided I was done with it. This is a really pretty sheer kind of pinky shimmery shade. I actually liked this color a lot, but again, I just didn't have enough time to get through these products, and I feel like I pulled in too many lip products, and that's why I had so many of them go bad before I finished them, because there was just too many. I couldn't get all of these done. Next I had a lip gloss from Victoria's Secret. This one, again, the color and the texture changed. Smells a little off, so I'm just gonna be done with that one. I barely used this one this year just because, again, I had so much. I was focusing on other products, and this one just didn't get enough attention. So definitely learned my lesson with lip products this year. I'm not gonna pick as many this year. Another lip product, this one I actually did pretty good on. This was from Marc Jacobs. I'm not gonna continue using this because I do feel like this one has also gone bad, but I did almost get done with this. There's a little on the side here, but for the most part, I would say it's just a little less than half full. So I got through most of that, and again, I feel like I got a good amount of usage out of this, but it is time to go in the garbage as well. Alright, you guys, and then the very last product in this project is the lip gloss from Bare Minerals. This is the Marvelous Moxie Lip Gloss in Daredevil. This one I feel like I got, let me get it all down here. I feel like this is about half full. This one I don't feel like has gone bad yet. I haven't owned this one as long as the other ones. The other ones were getting really, really old, but this one is not as old. This one's about 12 months, so that is the only one that I would still consider usable, but again, I'm ready to end this project, but I'll probably just keep this and try to finish it off because it is about half full. Alright, you guys, those are all the products I had in this project for 2017. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I didn't get as many done as I was really hoping to this year, but I still feel good about what I was able to accomplish. Anytime that I'm able to use up a complete product and get it out of my collection, it's a really nice feeling for me. I like knowing that the money I'm spending on these products is not going to waste, that I'm actually getting usage out of them, and it's a great way to learn what products you really love and which ones you don't like so much. That's what makes projects so great, is just spending that much time working on one product. You really learn you know, what your preferences are. So I've had fun doing this project, and definitely stay tuned because I do have another one starting up for 2018 here very soon, so keep an eye out for that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe while you're here. It does mean so much to me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.